Hello, everyone. My name is Jeannie Zames, and I am Director of Growth Marketing at Alchemer. I'm very excited that you have joined us for our new series titled 15-Minute Webinars. The one we're going to be presenting today will be 3 surprising uses for survey software. I've got 2 great senior onboarding team members with me. I've got Tyler Voth, who is our Senior Onboarding Analyst, and John Wood, who is our Senior Onboarding Manager. Both of them regularly work with customers and have a lot of great insight and stories that they can tell about things that they see that our customers are doing. So let's go ahead and jump in. Our first topic today is survey automation is huge. We have it in our own office. What is the most surprising automation you've seen? Let's start with you, Tyler.
Yeah, this is a great question. So in one of our recent onboarding sessions, we were working with a customer that managed the website for a state lottery, specifically wanting to capture customer satisfaction on website changes so they could monitor to ensure if improvements were landing with the clients or if they needed to roll back changes and whatnot. So in this example, CSAT is typically calculated in Alchemer outside of the platform, and we needed to work together to make sure that this was tracking live in a dashboard that could be shared with stakeholders at the lottery. So with using the quiz score feature, which specifically lets you set up a tallying of and calculate values inside of the survey itself, we were able to basically build the CSAT out so that we could capture an aggregate of the scores from each individual leaving feedback on the website to track longitudinally if these changes were tracking positively or negatively with the end users who were interacting with the website.
That is pretty interesting. How about you, John? What kinds of things have you seen?
Yeah, one example I really love is we worked with an energy company who is really trying to get better about using EV charging stations, understanding when they need maintenance, when customers are using them, and the customer experience that goes along with using an EV charging station. So one thing we helped them create, and we collaborated very heavily with them on this, was using QR codes by charging station. So a unique code for each charging station was used so that customers could report when maintenance was required if they saw any issues. And it also helped them track the customer experience through that journey of getting into the station, refilling with battery power, and leaving the station. So we helped the company really optimize the experience by targeting those customers and by relaying that feedback directly into our platform by using a website redirect. So those links redirected to our platform, to the survey, and then those customers could leave that feedback directly. So that was another really, really cool application.
That's pretty interesting. It's great how customers are able to use that technology. All right, let's jump into our second topic. Alchemer customers use surveys to check into work sites. What industries use Alchemer to permit access or to mitigate that risk? This time I'm going to start with you, John.
Yeah, let's dive in. So some industries right off the bat that I know have been using our survey software have been energy, manufacturing, fashion, government, and they use that, really when we're talking about checking into work sites, we're also thinking about how the future of work is evolving, how many companies, whether it's work sites or just when customers and employees are traveling, are adopting a hybrid approach, obviously related to our COVID response. So the way in which we're actually using this platform and using the survey software is to enable them to do very fast check-ins and employing logic to say, okay, you don't have a fever, for example, you're admitted to come into the workplace. or another instance might be, you don't have any exposure, you can travel to the client site. So, within these industries and others, we're really helping, sort of navigate and channel that feedback and channel those responses to exactly the people who need to know about it. So whether that's the HR department or whether that's an office administrator, those are ways, and that's sort of this secret sauce of Alchemer, in which we can really wire in that feedback directly to get a response immediately.
That's awesome. That immediate feedback is it's so important to the customers. Tyler, can you give us your perspective on that?
Yeah, like John mentioned, so many different industries can utilize the application to wire in the feedback. I think governments are a really good example of different ways that we can wire in that feedback. Um, some of the tools that we provide that allow that feedback to wire in directly, depending on the questions that are asked, we can dynamically set these triggers to go to various places. So, whether you're checking into a job site and, maybe you had a fever with COVID or something, we could even text someone. Like in HR, for example, if something comes in as a more urgent response where someone needs to get a hold of this individual more quickly, we could text an alert to follow up directly, or through an email. Even taking this similar workflow, we can have respondents access the survey from pretty much anywhere to give feedback, similar to the energy example that John provided with the QR codes. Based on the type of feedback that's coming in, we can really wire that feedback in, whether that's via text message, or do we want to open up a case somewhere via email or alert someone directly via email. The possibilities are endless.
I love how we're communicating in the ways that our customers need to communicate and that they communicate. That's great. All right, our third topic today, beyond the examples that have already been given, what is the most surprising or fun use of Alchemer survey software? And this time I'm going to start with you again, Tyler.
Yeah, we were working with a small law firm that is essentially using the application to set up courses similar to a learning management system where they can spool up certifications to ensure that everyone at different levels within the organization are qualified to either be speaking with their customers, etc. So when you're building in an LMS, you can basically build out quizzes, you can include videos to ensure that your audience is paying attention to the survey. We even can do things like setting up app timers so we know how long respondents are spending on each page. If you want to set up like a video that requires you to watch that, we can even say you have to stay on this page for 2 minutes. So we're making sure that the respondents are really fully understanding the content that they're being presented in these forms. And then to really take that to another level, using the single sign-on feature for respondents, this allows administrators of the survey to dictate who has access to specific courses. So you can really secure these programs to ensure that if you don't have access, you're not going to be able to get into certain courses. But on the other end of this, you'll be able to take these courses, and we have this validation to understand if you've completed these courses, if you still need to come in. And the SSO for respondents feature is just a great way to open up access to specific audiences and really secure your survey further.
Very cool. How about you, John? What is your most surprising and fun use of our survey software?
I think a really great example is with an online fashion retailer where they're really using some real-time feedback from customers, from website visitors, to inform their product roadmap. And what that means for them is how they're going to change their clothing. What styles are trending, what's coming up, what do they want to offer their millennial, Gen Y, Gen Z customers, different segments, not just in one market, but globally. So, for to allow them to capture this feedback, both from those segments, from different regions, I think is really cool. And also it lets them stay on top of trends real time, again, using that feedback, seeing what the demand is like for different styles for these different product lines within their company. they're able to wire that in directly to their customer experience team and then directly into their product team to almost change these designs on the fly or give it directly to that team that's in charge of design. And I think that's super powerful and just a really fun way to employ our technology.
That is amazing. I think back when I was that age, and pretty much we all wore the same Levi's 501 shrink to fit jeans. So I definitely would have appreciated that back in my day.
Totally.
Well, Tyler and John, thank you so much for your insights and your stories and your information. This has been a great 15-minute webinar, and Alchemer is the answer for your customer-centric transformation. Visit alchemer.com for more information. Thanks, everyone.